and welcome to another edition of the Sewing Guru and a brand new collection. Now in this collection I'm going to show you how to create the waistcoat with a lapel. Now the waistcoat and lapel is slightly more exclusive than the standard waistcoat. You don't see them that often and it just makes it just that little bit more exclusive. Now of course the standard waistcoat, as you know, has no lapel, it's just an open front. Whereas this one is going to have a lapel and a small part of the collar until it disappears into the shoulder seam at the top. Now we can create different lapel types and I'm going to cover them all as we go, and they're very easy to incorporate into our waistcoat. So you can have a standard notch collar lapel, just like that you see on a jacket, and also a peak lapel, again like you see all of these lapels on jackets, and also you can have a shawl collar as well. And like I say, they're very easy just to incorporate into the design of your waistcoat. So in this particular video I'm going to show you about all of the equipment that you're going to need to create your waistcoat. Okay, so here I am at my pattern table and I've got all of my equipment laid out together with my fabrics and fusing and everything else. And I'm going to cover all of the things you're going to need briefly, because over the course of the collection we are going to go into much more depth of the things you're going to need. So for instance, when we do the measuring, I'm going to then show you how to do that, and then you can go out and get the correct amount of fabric that you need for your waistcoat. When you do the pattern manipulation, again I'll be covering your pattern in much more detail. So that's what we're going to be doing over the course of this collection. So like I say, I'm going to cover a brief overview of the things you're going to need. So of course you're going to need a commercial pattern for your waistcoat. These are available in every haberdashery shop and they're quite easy just to pick up. So just a general waistcoat is fine, because I'm going to show you how to incorporate the lapel on that, or you can get a waistcoat with a lapel as a pattern already there. So it's up to you. Okay, so if you don't see a waistcoat with a lapel, don't worry, because I will show you how to incorporate that into your pattern. Now, you need interfacing, you need your lining, you need your outer fabric, so the main fabric that your waistcoat is going to be, and of course we need some calico, or what I like to use is curtain lining, because of course we're going to be using that for our toile and our preparation before we actually make up the waistcoat in the proper fabric, or before we cut it out, because if you make a mistake it's already cut and you can't go back. That's why we create a toile. And like I say, we're going to be covering this in a lot more detail in a future video. So there's all our fabrics and the interfacing, and of course you need your general accessories, fabric scissors, your paper scissors for your pattern construction, everything. You need the thread for your waistcoat, so you're going to get the colour that your waistcoat is going to be. Okay, a small buckle, because of course waistcoats have a buckle, like a decorative buckle, and a strap at the back which attaches to the lining. So you need your buckle. Few tape measures. Now I always like to have 2 or 3 tape measures with me. I always have one near the ironing board and the iron, so that I've always got access to that when I'm pressing something and I need to just measure that. And I also have one near the sewing machine as well, so it's just easier instead of going back and forth and taking the tape measure with you wherever you go. I mean, you can do that, but I like to have tape measures sort of dotted around, and it just makes it a lot easier for me. Now of course you're going to need buttons as well. Now you don't need to get these until of course you get your fabric, because of course you don't know what colour you're going to get, so get your buttons when you go and get your fabric. Now of course the buttons are a smaller type of button. Now if you look at a standard waistcoat, If you don't have one, just pop to the shops and just have a look to the size of the buttons that they use. They are smaller than the front of what you get on a jacket, okay? They tend to be more the size of the buttons that you would see on the fake vent or the vent sleeve of a jacket, okay? So you're looking for that size of button, okay? But of course you won't know what colour buttons you're going to get until, of course, you get your fabric. Okay, now of course you need pins and general accessories as well, which I keep in here. So again, tape measures, hand sewing needles, tailor's chalk, and so on and so forth. Okay, so all of my little accessories. But of course pins, very important, you need your pins, because of course you need that when you're pinning different parts of fabric types or pockets or whatever you're doing on your waistcoat before you sew them together. Pins are very, very important. So that's it generally. That is the basic overview of the equipment that you're going to need. Now that was the equipment that is to create your waistcoat. Now of course you do need the larger pieces of equipment as well, like a sewing machine, your ironing board and a steam iron. Okay. Now of course with this collection you don't need an overlocker, because of course your waistcoat is going to be lined and all of the seams are going to be inside the waistcoat, so you don't need an overlocker for this one. So just your standard sewing machine that you're going to need. So that's it, that's all of the equipment that I've covered today, what you're going to need for your waistcoat. So in the next video I'm going to show you how we can start with the waistcoat in the form of measuring the body. So I will see you in the next video.